Hey guys, welcome to Job 29. Excuse me. Excuse me. Job's summary defense. And we know this is a third chapter of Job talking and defending himself. And he has been laying into his friends, letting them have it. And it's almost to the point that it's almost like he's not even talking to them anymore. He's talking to God. But he is literally, as the phrase is today, he is spitting facts. Let's get into this because he is really going crazy. And he makes a very interesting admission of just how rich he was. Job's summary defense. Chapter 29, Job further continued his discourse and said, "Oh, that I were as in months past, as in the days when God watched over me, when his lamp shone upon my head, and when by his light I walked through darkness, just as I was in the days of my prime, when the friendly counsel of God was over my tent, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were around me." He still loved his children even though he suspected some of the things that they did. Now here's an admission of how rich he was. Verse 6, "When my steps were bathed with cream, and the rock poured out rivers of oil for me." Steps were bathed with cream. He washed his front steps with butter. That's rich. That's pretty rich. Verse 7, "When I went out to the gate by the city, when I took my seat in the open square, the young men saw me and hid, and the aged arose and stood." Job was a man of power, a man of authority. "The princes refrained from talking and put their hand on their mouth. The voice of nobles was hushed, and their tongue stuck to the roof of their mouth." Job was a very important man back then. A rich man, a man of authority, probably a very wise man. See, believers back then had that level of authority because God blessed them that way. It's a little different now. Better take my shot today. So, today, when we speak with authority, that same thing happens. When a true Christian, stands up and speaks with real authority, everybody gets quiet. A believer and non-believer alike. This was Job back then. Verse 11, "When the ear heard, then it blessed me. When the eye saw, then it approved me." That's other people paying attention to what he was saying. "Because I delivered the poor who cried out, the fatherless and the one who had no helper. The blessing of a perishing man came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy." He did the things that are true religion for God. What does God say? Visit the widow and the fatherless, help the poor. He's doing all those things, even all these millennia ago. "I put on righteousness, and it clothed me. My justice was like a robe and a turban." What is the white linen? The righteous acts of the saints. I was eyes to the blind, and I was feet to the lame. I was a father to the poor, and I searched out the case that I did not know. I broke the fangs of the wicked, and plucked the victim from his teeth. Then I said, I shall die in my nest, and multiply my days as the sand. My root is spread out to the waters, and the dew lies all night on my branch. My glory is fresh within me, and my bow is renewed in my hand. Men listened to me and waited, and kept silence for my counsel. After my words they did not speak again, and my speech settled on them as dew. They waited for me as for the rain, and they opened their mouth wide as for the spring rain. If I mocked at them, they did not believe it, and the light of my countenance they did not cast down. I chose the way for them, and sat as chief. So I dwelt as a king in the army, as one who comforts mourners. Job was a great man. And in a way, he's singing his own praises here. But in a way, he's justified in that too. Now, can we derive whether there's a sense of pride coming from him here? Maybe. But he's not wrong in his confession. He's making his defense. I did all these things. I was this person. I had integrity. And he was right in doing that. It was okay for him to do that. He was doing all the things that the Lord desires for others. Now, why he did them, we don't know, but we can very, very safely infer that if God was blessing him, he was doing the right thing, and God was blessing him. And then things changed. Now, here's what's interesting: is that what God is doing is he is actually making Job better by what he is inflicting upon him by letting Satan do what he wants. His friends have spent several discourses trying to cast Job down and blame him and say all this was his fault. Job is saying, but I did all these things. Where's the fault? Where's my responsibility of what I've done wrong? I haven't. God is using this very interesting interaction to teach Job something, and it teaches us something: humility. It may be that Job got to the place where he wasn't as humble as he probably should be, and God is using this moment to make him greater. He does this with all of us. He does this in each of our lives to bring us to a place where we learn to be humble and then elevate us up to a greater place. Because if you're already up there, how can he elevate you? If you've already put yourself up there, how can he elevate you? Can't. Can't do it. So this is a wonderful interaction that we get to learn so much from. Job knows the man that he was. He's very aware of the man that he was. And he is adamant. I am not in this position that his three friends are saying that he is. He's not in this place. He's not this person that they're making him out to be. They just want him to give up. It's Satan. Satan is working through all three of them. He wants him just to give up. His wife did it, and everybody else has been doing it. Job's like, no. Where's the fault? Where's the problem? And there is none. Job is justified. And this is an example for all of us. Be justified. It is God who justifies. But we can walk in that. Not walk contrary to that, like a lot of people end up doing. Again, these books, they're examples for us to follow. For us to look and learn from. The New Testament, they all talked about it. Jesus, John, Paul, Simon Peter. They all talked about it. These books were given as an example to us. We look at them and see the mistakes our ancestors made and don't make them. Change. Walk a better way. And how amazing. What a mercy that he has given us this book to show us all these things that we can look at and go, whoa, I'm about to do that in my life. Let me change that right now. And follow a better path, a better way. I love this book of Job. This book has so much to give us. So much to teach us. So guys, that was Job 29. I know these videos are short, but they're not meant to dig super deep into these, but to get to the point. Simple understanding. But how amazing that every one of us, at some point in one or more of these chapters, will find something that directly relates to what's going on in our own lives and can learn from it. That's the whole point of going through this. We also learn a whole lot about God's plan for us. Amazing. So the next video is going to be Job 30. He continues still with his discourse. And now he's going to lay back into them a little more. And that one's going to be interesting because he's laying it on thick. He's not cutting them any slack. He's letting them have it. He's pouring his heart out here. And again, another chapter where we can learn more about Job, learn more about what he feels and how he thinks. And we're going to get to learn a little more about his friends, and then God steps in. And that's the part I'm looking forward to. God steps in and teaches us a great many things. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.